Hi, I'm Gary. I just want to introduce myself to you and tell you why I like AmeriPlan and why I like Live Good and why I think the two are complementary to each other. First of all, welcome to my site. I'm going to start by going back just a few years where I was in my 20s and I tried a lot of different multi-level marketing, network marketing ventures. I found that almost all of them annoyed me. They bothered me because I did not like let's just say the rah-rah, the hype. And I didn't like being pressured at all, especially back then. The meetings, for example, you've got to attend this meeting, you've got to attend that meeting, and then no matter what I did, it was never enough. I realized that the structure is set up that I make money for the people above me. So, of course, they're always trying to get the most out of me. And, well, frankly, I don't care for that. That just doesn't work for me. It's like, hey, this is my thing. You should be there for me, not the other way around. Yeah, even though the structure is set up that they make money off of me and I don't make money off of them, still just wasn't going for it. So after a while, I finally just said, you know what? They're all the same. I'm not into this. I love the idea, though, of the residual income. And I love the idea of when you have more people under you, we've all seen it. How wouldn't you rather have 100 people making $1 for you than you have to go out and make $100? That sort of thing. Who wouldn't like that? So I really tried it. But like I said, I just got not going to do this anymore. Never again, never, never. By the time I was in my 30s, that ship had sailed, and that's that. I ended up doing a lot of sales work, though, as it is. I worked in sales because I found that other jobs that I tried were very soul-sucking, boring, repetitive, and frankly, the people that I worked with, not the customers, but if there were any, in retail and such, which terrible hours, the whole 9 yards. But the people I worked with, they just weren't my cup of tea. I don't know how else to say it. Most of them just seemed to have I don't know. It seemed as though their souls had already been sucked out. Okay. So I really leaned towards getting into sales. I found that exciting, even though none of the sales jobs were, sales positions had anything to do with any residual income. At least to me, it was exciting and I got to meet with a lot of people and that was great. But again, the people I worked with, as it turns out, were all basically jocks. And I don't, I'm not trying to, what I mean by that is they all had, and almost all of them really were athletes and sports people in high school and college, which is great. But their mindset towards the customer was the same mindset they had towards their opponents. And so it was always this kind of, gird your loin and conquer. It was aggressive and ways to kind of have strategies and all this. And then the attaboys, constantly needing the attaboys and constantly talking, for example, which drives me nuts. Even you see all these things, opportunities, work at home opportunities, and then like anything to do with sales. So many things to do with sales have to do with, the bling, and you're going to get the gold chains and the Maseratis, and you're going to be able to buy an ocean. Yeah, that's right. So that is not me. Hey, I mean, I'm more of a creative guy, right? I'm just not that competitive person. I'm not the person who is inspired in the least by gold chains and Maseratis. And yeah, I wouldn't mind having an ocean, but you know what I'm saying? I would rather take a little walk in the woods and enjoy the natural beauty than, for that matter, to own hardly anything. I'm just not a possession oriented person. And So I was definitely a square peg in a round hole with with most sales jobs, and I just kind of tried to fit in a little bit. But quite honestly, I probably being a little too frank, because I just found a lot of it just kind of nauseating, and of course the people I'm with, they can tell I'm not the jocks, which is fine. I mean, here again, to each his own. We all just are wired differently. I made it through though because I really did love helping people, and that was it was its own reward, pure and simple. So, anyways, I'm kind of moving along here. Up years passed, and I actually started my own business. And I'm at this place, and this guy who had met me before, he comes to me and he says, "Hey," he says, "I've come across something. I think you would be great at this, and you only have to do it part time. Just get your feet wet and see what you think." And I was okay. What is this? And in fact, he didn't mean part. He meant like just a few hours a week, even. So I can do that. And what is this? And so he told me. He says, "Well, it's a plan." He says it's a discount membership that helps people save on glasses, dental, chiropractic, and went off the list. And I was like, well, I like that because I'm a very health-oriented person. In fact, that ended up being my business. I was in hearing conservation, helping people to protect save their hearing. And I worked with industries and stuff like that. So anyways, I thought, okay, now this sounds, and I was kind of already like, all right, I think you might be right. And then he tells me, but then he says, but you got to sign up as a business consultant. Business consultant. What do you mean, business consultant? He says, well, it's network marketing. And I was like, okay, well, right there, stop. No, I did that. Been there, done that. I'll never do it again. Thanks, but no thanks. And I really did I was just like emphatic. No, go, goodbye. And that was it. So now, as years passed, it's been about 20, 25 years, I find myself at hitting about 60 as this video is done. And my business has given me I have no retirement plan as it is. Thankfully, my wife is kind of set up, but really I'm sitting at 60 and it's like, wait a minute, I don't have this pension stuff. I guess I should have been a little more on the ball, really. And so I'm needing something where I can get this residual income. And I actually became a licensed life insurance agent. And that's a whole nother story there, but there's a lot more worms in the apple than I ever imagined with that. It's still not to say it's a bad business or, something I'd steer clear of, but I can't tell you since I actually started in AmeriPlan how many life insurance agents I've come across. I must say it must be 1 out of every 10 people in the United States is a licensed life insurance agent. Anyway. About the same time, I had came across through another, just kind of accidentally, not unbeknownst to me, this ad for AmeriPlan, and so I checked into this, and the person that I talked to happened to be a top producer that's been with AmeriPlan for about 25 years. Same person that contacted me initially. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so this person, she's wonderful, and she's got a lot of energy. She's really, really, but she's genuine. It just does not seem like hype to me, albeit she's really good at getting people to sign up. Because she is exciting, she has good energy. So anyway, when I first heard this, I was like, AmeriPlan, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, kind of like back in time, like AmeriPlan, is that still around? I hadn't heard anything about AmeriPlan, but in fairness, I hadn't been looking either. And so I'm like, I don't know, I guess I looked at it with complete scrutinizing, I just went crazy. making sure that everything, I guess when you get to a certain age, you either really make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, or you don't care anymore. I don't know, but I'm still in the real dot your I's, cross your T's phase. So I looked at it, and the more I looked at it, the more I was like, I think this is, I could do this. This is really good. And again, loving the idea that it was a medical related. To be able to save families money on discounts with medical was very appealing to me. And the rest of it just seems to me like, hey, I'm going to put together this website. It's going to have all this information. It's really going to tell everybody. So people go there, they're either going to say, yeah, this is for me, I love it, or no, and that's that. I don't see, this is where I'm going with this. I don't like the idea of having to sell people on something. I've always considered myself a customer service person, even when I was in sales. If I'll let you know what we have. I'm your concierge, so to speak. This does this does this. Does any of this sound like something you would like? And that takes care of it. I'm not aggressive. I don't push people. I don't like to be pushed, and so I don't push. I don't like aggressiveness, and so therefore I'm not aggressive. I like to do unto others just as I like to be done to me. So I see this, and I think to myself, well, this is something. And for that matter, the way I looked at it was like, hey, $200. That's what I'm looking at. I went with the most, to me, I thought was the absolute best deal. $200, you can't even go, you can hardly go out to McDonald's these days. I mean, it's crazy. So I thought that, and I knew just a little bit of, extra, I'd have to have a little bit of spend after that. And I looked into this, and there's this company that is called Lead Power, that where I can get people who are interested in network marketing for as little as 18 cents a lead. Up to you go up towards like 75 cents for people who are actually contacting you. And so I was like, okay, I think this is a no-brainer, especially since I can do this really in maybe 10 hours a week, thereabouts, certainly to find out if it works. So that's where my head was. It's just so if you're kind of thinking about this, I don't know obviously I can't know what you're thinking, where you're at, but this is kind of now wrapping up. I think that this business, AmeriPlan, and I think I've maybe mentioned that Live Good to me just is very complimentary to it. Live Good is kind of my whole thing here with this. AmeriPlan is my whole thing. But I think as long as I'm doing this, I think Live Good has a really good, discount savings on terrific products, the best, refund policy I've ever seen. So it's like, why not? All about the health and a little bit about the wealth. It really sells itself. And that's what I'm all about. I like anything. In fact, I always said when I was in sales, I will never, ever, ever sell anything that I'm not sold on. And I just think that makes sense. You've got to be into it. So what I'm really going to try to wrap up here is I think this is really meant for a person who is much more of a nurturing type than the quote traditional sales type, because there's no need to be a sales type. That just isn't, like I said, it does it for you, especially if you have a website like I have, or there's lots of different ways to do this where the information's there. You just have to send it to the persons and they will know if it's something that they're interested in. And if they are, that's where you come in. That's where you've got to be there to provide support, especially at first to get them off and running. Usually after that, there's hardly anything really to do. Every now and then they need some help. They'll call you and you've got to work something out or something, but it's usually very minor. And even to get people off on the right foot, it takes hardly any time at all, maybe an hour or two total. So, but you have to be, to me, like a good parent or, teacher, even kind of maybe a gardener. You have to be kind. You have to be, understanding. And you've got to really want them to do well. You have to have their best interest. That has to be really something that just comes from you naturally, that you're just naturally inclined to want to help people. And to me, that's what it amounts to. And so if you've listened to this and most of this stuff feels really good to you, I don't know, I'm hoping I'm making sense, then I think this is something you should really consider, because I think you would do very, very well at it. And this is not like you're joining the military. I mean, you can do this, and if it just isn't working out for you, you have quite a long period of time that you can get pretty much 100% of your money back if you don't like it. I mean, it's risk-free. When you get into this, if you do, assuming you do, you are going to find that you can't wait to get up in the morning and do it. Especially, and this is really important, if you're a person who likes people. You've got to actually want to talk with people, even if they're strangers, and hopefully they won't be strangers long. If you look forward to that, if you look forward to engaging with people, you're going to really do well with this, and you're going to love it. Every day is going to be something you look forward to. And so there's all that this comes with it. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me, meet me. And if for some reason you say, you know what, I'm really not a people person, this is just kind of not for me. I'm not that outgoing, and I don't think I do well. Maybe at least let somebody that you know who fits that criteria, sort of a teacher, nurturer, likes to talk with people. Let them know about me. Let them know about my life comfort, and I can help them out. And if nothing else, if you just want to save money, make sure you take advantage of the discount plan that AmeriPlan has. And of course, if you take supplements, you definitely want to look at Live Good and their discount plan. You can save a lot of money. And for a lot of people who are kind of on a little bit of a tight budget, that savings can make the difference between being able to kind of connect and make things happen, like getting that pair of glasses you need, dental work, and so on, and not putting it off, because we know how that is. When you put things off, often it just makes for a worse situation as it is. So, but again, thank you so much for checking this out. And here's to you being your best self and your life comfort. Thank you.